Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we're off for another iteration of What's in the Treasure Chest, Christmas of 2024. Now, before I get into this, I do want to make mention of the fact that when it comes to this unboxing series on how I thought that it was a little bit cringe, because I think like a year ago on that Christmas, I was a little bit dubious on continuing doing this sort of thing, because it's like, he's taking things out of the chest, it's just to fit the Zelda theme and all that. But it's become part of the brand, and not only that, but people do look forward to this every year or every 6 months, well 5-7 months, because my birthday's in May, you get what I mean. And it is an unboxing, as it were, and I just like to share all the stuff that I was gifted for birthdays and Christmases, and if something extended into that, like with a gift to a trip, or like for Comic-Con or what have you, I would show off those. Or if, you know, there were late presents and I'd do another one, which is what happened this year with my birthday. Even though I didn't know what to have, everyone gave, and I just felt humbled. And that was kind of the same for this year's Christmas as well. There wasn't too much that I was actually after in particular, and yet, ironically enough, I got a lot of clothes. In fact, I'm wearing one right now, which is why we started with an unboxing already. This smart-looking blue festive shirt, we're starting with festive stuff, by the way, was a gift from Stella Grondrite. And that's not the only thing she got me as well, because she got me the matching pair of slipper socks to go with, which I'm not wearing for now, obviously, so I can show them off. But, yeah, they for the most part match. They're blue, they're festive, and that's the thing that I want to actually talk about both of these particular things in general. I don't actually have a lot of festive clothing. I mean, I have a lot of festive stuff, as you can see here with my sack full of goodies and a few other stuff down here as well, just kind of sitting in the background here. But I don't actually have festive clothing, and I don't normally swap it out. And I don't normally have like a Christmas wardrobe or something to swap them out if need be. But not only is it festive, it also fits with the weather. I mean, as you can see with the nice collar, it's kind of my style. Blue, smart but casual sort of thing, and she knew my style completely. It's amazing. And again, with the slipper socks, I prefer socks over slippers, so these are like perfect with the grips and everything. I do have my Starfleet issue slippers, but I barely wear them. Not to be rude or anything, but these I would probably wear more often if I'm not planning to go outside, because they're pretty thick. I have another shirt here. Most of them are shirts. Make It Snow with Patrick Stewart as Captain Picard. A Star Trek shirt that my ma got me, which is pretty cool, because didn't really get anything Star Trek related this year, although once I did get through Star Trek Picard, which I actually finished watching at the beginning of this year. At some point I went and watched Star Trek Prodigy as well, which is something that you wouldn't expect me to have watched, because it's supposed to be, you know, targeted for kids, but at the same time it is technically a Voyager sequel, and it's actually good after episode 6 of season 1. Up to that point, it's a bit cringe, and that's mainly because the main lead of the show is kind of a pain in the arse, but once he attempts the Kobayashi Maru, which is just pure fan service and it's a bit tongue-in-cheek about it, using a lot of archival sounds, but as a holodeck program you can get away with it. By trying the Kobayashi Maru test, after that he begins to mature a little bit. He actually realizes there are stakes and not everything's all fun and games and you need to get out, which is funny considering if you've been growing in a slave in a mining facility to try and hunt down the very ship that you stole to escape with, the Protostar, you'd probably already know what is, you know, a life and death situation. So that, like, and the thing is, when it comes to life and death situations and any serious matters, they do not skimp on that. I know I just went on a bit of a tangent already about Star Trek Prodigy when I was talking about a shirt, but what else am I supposed to say about a shirt other than the fact that it's a nice shirt, it's nice and black, and has Picard on there, Make It Snow. It's kind of cool. I could probably wear it outside of winter, but with the Let It Snow, Make It So, I don't know. It's a little pun, and I like my puns. This one was from Stella Grondrite's Dear Mama. And it is official as well, by the way. Ho Ho Power Rangers. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they have slightly different designs, mostly the comic book style. But as I have said, it is in fact official. There's Hasbro's logo right there, which is pretty cool. In fact, she got me another one on top of that as well. As I'm saying while holding this up, just to put it back over there. I should have had hangers. I don't have hangers. I just have them all in drawers. But she did give me another one, actually, which we will cover in just a moment, because I am trying to go in order as well as in some sort of style. But yeah, considering that, ironically enough, when I said to Stella that I don't have any festive clothing, this was the first thing I opened up on that weekend that we had, because we didn't have any, like, because I work a lot during Christmas and I'm not supposed to have any time off. I only had like a weekend before Christmas to actually, spend some time. And I didn't have any festive stuff. And then I opened, this was the first package that I opened up, and I immediately swapped into it because I have something festive. So kind of worked out. And that was before I opened up, the other packages, which includes the one I'm wearing right now, which was from Stella. And for the other shirt that Stella's mum got me is another White Ranger shirt. Now, here's the thing. This is kind of close to what I have, but mine is more of a dark grey colour, because this one is more of a lighter grey with that kind of stitching style. Mine's an actual solid dark grey colour. So now I actually have two of these, of which I can swap between. Also, this one has a black label despite being officially Hasbro. Mine has a white label. I'm guessing because I already had mine for a couple of years, that was older, and they've just updated the tag for it. So you can actually tell which one's which. Obviously, you can see this here. If you check my albums on Facebook, which is in the link in the description below, you can check not only my albums of past projects, which is on the YouTube Facebook, but from there you can go to my basic Facebook, like my personal Facebook page, and you can go to my albums there and see my Comic-Con album. It's public, it's there for everyone to see. And, I also went with Lady Lincario and Stella Condrite and my dear brother, as well as Conor Meza this year. So if you haven't seen that yet, please check that out, because I actually went to the Tokusatsu meetup and took pictures of all other Rangers, as well as Kamen Rider. You thought we were done with clothes? Oh no, we're not. We've got another shirt here from my mum and dad, and this one is, if I unfold it, which is upside down, more Star Trek related. Like I said, I try to keep a theme of trying to go all my festive clothing, and now I'm going to other clothing, which segued from what Stella's mother gave me. I went to the next one. This is going backwards, basically. This one has all of the logos you could, as well as ship silhouettes that you could think of from Star Trek. Like, it's even in the Delta insignia shape from how it all looks. You can literally see, like, a load of shapes of different ships there, like right next to the Cardassian. You got like the Miranda, you got Tricorder, you've got the Klingon Empire, the Borg symbol, batlifts, phasers, disruptors, and God knows what else. Just different silhouettes of items, equipment, divisions of different races and all that. It's kind of insane. So there's so many logos on there, and that's, as I said, not a festive one. I can just wear that whenever. So, and I may be wearing my Mighty Morphin's shirt a lot more often, because I have one to swap between, as I mentioned earlier. But I don't tend to wear it often because I don't want the print to disappear. But now I have two, I might as well just, shuffle through. And that's why I don't tend to wear those kind of prints anymore, and I wear something more like this. It's just how I go. But yeah, not only do I not get clothes often, I've got a lot of festive clothing, which, to end off with, I've got a jammy set. On my mama and papa as well, because I actually kind of like it. Only Fools and Horses nightwear set, top and bottom. And because I haven't got it out of the package yet, I can actually show you right here what it actually looks like on the front. Trotter's Independent Trading. Lovely jubbly, innit? Sorry for the cut. I'm always trying to fight against the bloody autofocus, and for some reason, despite the autofocus being on, I had to turn it off and on again in order to fix it just now. Don't get that. That's not lovely jubbly at all. This, though, right pucker. Kind of fits as well, considering that we have the DVD box set that I gifted to my dad for a birthday long ago. The whole disc set of all the seasons, as well as all the specials, even the ones after that all finished. And we also have a Only Fools and Horses coffee mug. So it just kind of fits with the theme. But it's kind of split between the mug being my mum's that I kind of ended up using, the DVD disc set, which was my dad's, and now the jammy set is mine. It's kind of like just as bad as Red Dwarf in this house, really. We like our comedies. And now, time for the games section, because, as I said, it's been able to split almost 4 items into certain categories, which is kind of an interesting one for me, really, especially since half of these alone have been clothes. But now we get to the games, because that's what you're here for, isn't it? I have Super Mario Party Jamboree, and we've already played a couple of games of this. In fact, if you recall, back on the charity live stream that we did with Panda Man, Mama Panda, Linkario, and Holy Moly, we pretty much did half of that stream just playing this alone, but we had a lot of other incentives happening during that time, which is why it took even longer still. But well, yeah, that was our first time, or at least me and Linkario's time playing Jamboree the first time. But I wanted to get it for Christmas, and now I have it. And yep, it is just as good. In fact, it's actually faster paced than Superstars, but it's the general honest to God Mario Party formula that we all know and love. 20 coins for a star, go around the board, the star hops around unless there's a gimmick on the board. And some of the boards are quite interesting. We've played them all a couple of times, which should have just been called Coconut Morning, come on. And then you have Waluigi's minigame to have him as a partner when he randomly spawns on the board. You play a pinball game. Why is it not based off of Waluigi pinballs from Mario Kart as well? That doesn't make any sense. It's right there. Heck, you even have a racing kart track, but you don't sit in the generic Mario Kart carts. Like, wait, like, it's Mario. How is this a problem? How is this a problem with, like, identity? Just combine them in the two. Instead, you're in, like, weird Formula 1 cars going around the board. And that was the one that we played the other day. And the star only hops between 2 locations, but like you can get like 4 turbo dice, which blast you around the entire stage, but you will bypass literally everything other than the 2 lane swaps that you can choose at certain points in the board. It's literally just to make distance and get around quicker. But even so, for some reason, the very first happening on the stretch at the top to get to the star, I kept on landing on those 2 spaces. Every time the star was on there, no matter what I rolled, when I was on that turn, it's like, oh, if I go up, I'm going to be chased past the star because of the event space, and that was bloody annoying. And apparently, not only is, this just, the next original Mario Party game, because Superstars, even though it introduced proper online for classic Mario Party boards and minigames, even though this has a decent amount of recycled minigames, as well as the fact that it has 2 returning boards, so this is like lukewarm Superstars Part 2 or Superstars 2, whatever. It's called Jamboree for a reason. There's no number, and the reason being is because that the minigames that they have on offer are absolutely insane. There's like this kind of battle royale, kind of like in a field battling the imposter Bowser, which is a toadie, not a Magic Koopa or anything of the sort. It's a toadie. How do you get that wrong? Kind of reminds me back when Pac-Man World 2 and 3 came along and they got the name of Pinky and Clyde mixed up. Clyde's orange, not red. How do you get that wrong? But regardless, even though I haven't checked any of the other minigame options yet, it's a really good Mario Party game, like, really good. Like, it's so fresh, and again, you have online capability, so you can play with people online. It's not like Super Mario Party. Despite what it says with Super Mario Party Jamboree, people thought it would just be Mario Party Jamboree. The reason why there's Super in there, when Mario Party Superstars didn't have the word Super in there, is because that, if you remember, Super Mario Party was original. It was all new boards, and it was almost the correct formula, but not exactly. The dice were all different, kind of like how Mario Party 1 had weird dice that you don't have as items, they just randomly give it to you at the start of your turn, sort of thing. But in this case, it's like every character has their own dice block, and you can only roll up to a 6, and you only need like 10 coins for a star or something bizarre like that. It's not 20 for a star with big boards like we used to. All the minigames were original, and they also capitalized on how the Joy-Cons worked. That's why this is called Super Mario Party Jamboree. It's because they, once again, has modes where you are intended to only use the Joy-Cons, but you can play with generic controllers and turn those minigames off, which is why there are a bunch of returning minigames in this game as well. so it can replace those mini games, so it doesn't need to require only Joy-Cons. So you can play with a classic controller, you can play with a GameCube controller with little limited buttons, despite with the name Super in there, which does make people a bit dubious when it comes to new Mario Party. The only thing that is mostly carried over is the fact that it has original content in there and not just recycled content. That's why Mario Party Superstars, Mario Parties 1 through 10 and DS for the sake of argument, they were all the past ones, and Superstars was capitalizing off the past ones and giving it online features and updating it, as well as giving us the original formula, which this game follows. Not Super Mario Party, Mario Party Superstars, the actual formula of Mario Party that we know and love from Hudson Soft. That was gifted by my dear brother, who I gifted him WarioWare Move It, because it's the sequel to Smooth Moves, which is one of our favourite WarioWare games ever on the Wii. And I haven't played that yet, but I'll probably have to get around to that soon. But first, we're going back to the Steam Deck, because we have gifts. We have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. You can see that I haven't played it too much, but what I have played and what I've seen on trailers. The music, absolutely Super Nintendo. Like, you get nothing but Super Nintendo vibes from it. In fact, I even get Deltarune vibes from it, because Deltarune Chapter 2 took inspiration from the Super Nintendo Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Rita's Rewind takes place, literally, if the current Ranger team that we know and love, the most active one, from Once and Always, fails to stop Rita. Think about that for a minute. The anniversary, the 30th anniversary special that was made solely for MMPR to have their one last hurrah and all that, with returning actors, everybody possible, if they failed to stop Robo Rita, which in a way, just the synopsis of this game alone is a bit of spoilers for that 1 hour special, that's when this takes place. You go back to the original MMPR, but things start going a bit, timey-wimey, because, Rita made it through, but then you immediately think, hang on a minute, Time Force, why are you letting this happen? But then you've got, Power Rangers Mighty Force on phones, which is an AFK game, where pretty much in the exact same point, normal Rita, without the influence of Robo Rita, breaks the timeline, and everyone gets poured into that particular segment. Why is it MMPR that always has all these timey-wimey stuff? I know it's literally the focal point of literally the Ranger legacy as we know it. That is so based in continuity that it's insane. But you have Shattered Grid and Beyond the Grid and all that other stuff with the comics and all that. And then you have all the other stuff that happens around that time. Then you have Mighty Force. Then you have Rita's Rewind. I'm guessing the only reason why in our canon it just stays the way it is despite all these additional adventures that no one seems to mention is because of Time Force and the fact that everything else gets fixed. Maybe even the Omega Ranger from Super Legends, like the future Omega Ranger, not the Omega Ranger that happens in SPD, which should be, taking place in about, I don't know, next year in 2025. Somehow throughout the last couple of years, Power Rangers got way too much into the time span, but I'm not exactly talking about the game, am I? I'm just talking about the premise of the game itself. It is basically a classic 2D style beat 'em up game where you have your basic combos as well as special attacks. But what's really cool is when you actually get to actually pilot the Megazord, and it's probably implemented in a way that, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots as well as Punch Out sort of thing. You got to weave past while trying to close in the distance in order to sock your enemy and just keep punching until you build enough energy in order to call down the Power Sword to do your finisher. Which once you finish Goldar, for example, because that's the first one you fight, of course, because that's the first enemy that they fight with the Megazord in, continuity, Day of the Dumpster and all that, you get to finish him with the Power Sword and do that. And the best thing about it is, as well, they just recently released an update, as of this recording, so that when you're in, like, the juice bar, like, intermission area, you can actually swap your Ranger instead of being locked to one Ranger for your entire playthrough, which is amazing. I don't exactly want to be playing Jason for the entire game. Why was there not an option to just switch your Ranger in the first place through a menu right before you load into a level? Even the Super Nintendo game did that. It's a little bit weird, that. But you can unlock Tommy Oliver. I was about to say Jason David Frank then, but you know what I mean. You can unlock him at a certain point. And you can do co-op play. I think you can do online as well, but only on the PC version, which is interesting because you could do remote play. So that's local co-op, and again, if someone has the game, you can do it that way as well. It's a bit interesting, that. I've got to see if there's also like a versus mode sort of thing as well. As I said, I've only just barely put an hour into it. I've gone through the first 4 levels and I'm enjoying it. The music rocks and it sounds very Super Nintendo, which appeals to me personally. The graphic style is very sprite based. You can turn off the filters. It starts with a filter, but you can turn it off. I like to see my sprites very nice and crisp, thank you very much. But it's good that they have the option there. So yeah, the latest Power Rangers game is actually really good, and the ironic thing is as well is that this has come out, and yet for the whole of this year there's been no Power Rangers stuff, only rumours of another movie going around, and I'm like, please don't reboot MMPR again. If you're releasing stuff with the current continuity or alternate continuities of the same Power Ranger team, why make a different iteration of the same Power Ranger team? Because if you're trying to do that to be original, you're not being original, because people are still going to associate it with the original suits, because you're taking from that design, which is still Super Sentai from Zyuranger. If you want to separate yourself from Sentai, just make a new series or a new season with completely original suits. All I'm trying to say right now is that it's weird to be a Power Ranger fan right now, because we don't know what's happening with the series, what Hasbro are doing with it. They've been auctioning everything off, and yet we've been getting okay games such as Mighty Force, which I'm playing quite a lot of, as well as Rita's Rewind, which Panda Man gifted to me through Steam. So thanks very much, mate. Much appreciated. And if you have it as well, we need to play it. Technically, I was gifted this about 5 days before Christmas, but hell, All Viking gifted Rogue Trader because apparently it's one that he thinks I'll enjoy, and we have a normal, we kind of have like a game night going on like every fortnight on a Friday evening on 8 o'clock, and we've been alternating on like stuff like with Golf with Friends, Mario Kart 8, going through all the tracks as well as the DLC tracks, like 6 cups around sort of thing, and we keep score. It's just a thing that we do in our pastime. But Rogue Trader came up and he gifted me a copy, and even though I'm not exactly big on Warhammer and everything like that, hey, for the Emperor, you know, Rogue Trader, we'll give it a go. I've got it installed on my PC right now because obviously I'm going to be probably playing it on that more than anything. Although it is 100% compatible on the Steam Deck according to that green check mark. But I don't have to always believe that according to what happened with A Hat in Time. I might install it on the Steam Deck just for ease, but I do have it on the PC right now because I was installing it to play, but we had just to try it during that night, but I had other stuff going on that night, so unfortunately once we finished off with the the races, that proper time will be then, so I'll have to figure it out during that time. But yeah, Rogue Trader, I'm gonna give it a go. Don't know what it's about really. I assume it's trading while pillaging, because you're a rogue. I'm going by the title. I'm not a Warhammer fan. That's more of their thing, and we're just gonna give it a go. So thanks, All Viking. You know, the logo in its default position on this page is so small, you can't even see it in the glow unless I tilt it like that. Look how tiny that is. Quidditch Champions. Now, ironically enough, as I put my Steam Deck down for just a moment and just dip underneath my desk here, I do actually have the original of what it's a remake of, Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, and it's still sealed, as you can see here. I got it off of Amazon for, well, funnily enough, roughly the same price as what's on that old label there. But yeah, this is the PC copy, obviously. I'll get it working. But yeah, Quidditch World Cup and Quidditch Champions in general. Now, that was gifted to me by Connor Meza, and I haven't tried even the original first, but from what I know from the original, from what I've seen other people play, it is basically just the normal Quidditch from the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox versions of Chamber of Secrets when you're playing Seeker, but you can play as all the other teams from other places, as well as the 4 House Cups of Hogwarts. You can also play as the other positions, so you can play as Seeker, as I've already mentioned, but you can also be Beater, Chaser, as well as Keeper. So you can block the Quaffle going into your goal, you can seek out the Quaffle and make shots, or you can chase down and whack away bludgers from any of your teammates or into the opponents in order to sabotage. Now, the main difference between the remake, well, I call it a remake, it's probably its own thing to be fair, but I'm just, for the sake of argument, I'm just calling it a remake because it's basically the same similar thing 20 years later, effectively so. Quidditch Champions allows you to swap between the different positions while you're playing a round. However, the original Quidditch World Cup, when you choose what position you're going to be in, you are locked into that position, so you can't swap in between different positions. So that's kind of like the main difference there. But regardless, yes, as you saw in the front, you've got Harry and Draco Malfoy, so you can play as those for, you know, Hogwarts, Gryffindor, and Slytherin. But it says Quidditch Champions. I'm assuming that you would have all the rest of the, you know, Wizarding World places, because that one was called the World Cup. This one doesn't say that, so I'm not entirely too sure, but I do need to put some time into this, especially since I can get an awesome looking Steam intro video in there. I know I could get my own custom one or make my own custom one, but I have points to spare. I have like 100,000. I need to spend them. Since I'm talking about Harry Potter, maybe I should stick on that, because we're done with games for now. For now, it's just talking about other gifts that were gifted. And this one was from my nan, or it will be from my nan. This is more of a precursor letting us know that she's planning to do it. Have a card, and if I open up said card, Harry Potter, the making of. Just a simple letter. Happy Christmas, love Nan. Thank you very much, Tarnana. But making of Harry Potter. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. We went to the making of Harry Potter literally the year after the previous film wrapped up, because that's when they put it all together, having all of the props and sets and other stuff, like, all just strewn about the warehouses and all that, because it was the tour, you know. You could go through, even down Diagon Alley, and see how it all is there, and even get yourself a butterbeer. And at the very end, you could go to the gift shop, where they have proper, official Ollivander making of Harry Potter boxes, as you can see right here. I don't think I've ever shown this off other than, you know, when I was also gifted. We're getting them all out today. This thing, the Elder Wand that lights up, that you can paint stuff on an app on your phone. So remember, I have 2 Elder Wands right now, and my first one was in fact from, as you've seen at the back reverse of the box there, from the making of Harry Potter. We've been there before, and I missed out on Godric Gryffindor's sword, which was annoying. Haha. So yes, I have 2 Elder Wands. You don't want to mess with me. But with these 2, do I really need another Elder Wand? Or am I going to go over them and buy another one? I don't need to, because Leyland Courier has already hooked me up with another one, and then some. But before we look at that, I just want to make mention that obviously the making of Harry Potter's had so much more added since then. We went when it was only just established. There's going to be obviously a lot more other stuff that wasn't there before. Maybe some props have been removed for restoration or storage purposes. Maybe other stuff's been added because, you know, the Fantastic Beasts stuff, or maybe other stuff that they don't need to use anymore, new stuff that's been returned or restored. Who knows if there's even anything new in the gift shop. But Nan wants to see it. She's been a big fan of the franchise, and during the time I was also a big fan. I played all the games up to Order of the Phoenix, because Order of the Phoenix was the most boring one with Umbridge, literally killing magic in a magic-based series. Like, what are we doing? We're just in a school studying books. Like, boring, right? Obviously, the most of the important stuff happens near the end and when they're sneakily doing something in the background, but for the majority of it, it's like, really, this is boring and stuff. And that's when I kind of fell out with it, but then obviously it was that. And then obviously after that, there was then Half-Blood Prince, which was a lot more better, and then definitely Hallows Part 1 and 2. So, yeah, it was just a minor blemish in my own personal thing, other than anything else going on. But yeah, another Elder Wand. Let's get into that. Not exactly. You've been bamboozled. From the property of Hogwarts, it is, well, you can't see because the lighting, of course, as well as focusing. There's no name there. I was supposed to show the top. It's a triple wand pen set. And, yeah, that was my fault. But, yeah, if you look at there real carefully, you have the Elder Wand in the middle, but then you have Voldemort's wand as well as Harry's wand. So, you have the twin Phoenix Cores and the Elder Wand. Like, in a way, this is kind of like the 3 Deathly Hallows. And if I just push from the top and slide them out, there we are. Look at that. All nice and neat. Time to die! Also, tell me that don't like chocolate. Like, when it was in the packaging, before I even read that it said that it was a triple wand pen set, like, I just looked at the packaging like this, not even realizing there wasn't any film or plastic here. I looked at both the Elder Wand as well as Harry's wand, and I was thinking, that looks like chocolate. These are like chocolate wands you can just, like, you know, bite into and nibble, but no, they're pens. So that's pretty nifty, that, really. And to be fair, I'm just going to keep it in the box because it's quite nice. But how many more kind of variants of the Elder Wand can I possibly get? I have an official one from the making of Harry Potter, not like, you know, the pre-production ones that you get in stores, which are probably the same ones anyway, but my one's actually branded for being in that place in the Ollivander stock box. So take that what you will. But then I've got that actual functioning one with the light tip, like you're using limos or something, and when you're pointing it like this through your camera or someone's holding it, you're doing stuff with the wand and it paints stuff. I could never get that app to work. There was like 2 versions, one never booted and one did boot but never wanted to access my camera. And then it crashes, like, when it does. It's so weird. And that was on my previous phone, not on the one I'm using now. So either the app is just completely dead and not maintained, and they just kept selling the wands because it's like, oh, it's nice and fun. But it's also kind of false advertising if you don't fix the app that's supposed to go with the product, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I have a basic one, I have a Lumos one, effectively, and now I have one that's tinier and is a pen. So, well, am I going to get one where I can, like, take the tip off and then it's like a knife or something? A Defendo Elder Wand. I don't know. It's interesting. But yeah, thank you, Lane Cario, for that. You may notice a slight contrast difference as later on in the day I forgot to record a couple, mainly because they were downstairs and it's alcohol. But it's packs of alcohol. It comes with a glass and the mug, which is what I want to talk about more than anything else. Problem is that when I gathered everything in my room, these were left downstairs in the kitchen, so I forgot them at the time of recording the main part of this video. So give me a second to just squeeze these in here. Glasses!
Ooh, how exciting! This is great!
We have a Star Trek pack of a API drink? Yeah, a IPA drink. I said that backwards. I don't know what it is exactly, but it says it contains barley, wheat, rye, and oats. A 4.2, but it's just called a Captain's Log Session IPA. But more importantly, it comes with some sort of like wine drinking glass with the Delta insignia on there. Something I've never seen before, and obviously I like Star Trek, so it kind of makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Mum and Dad gifted me this, and they also gifted me something else, which I'll just show in just a moment, because as these are, you know, drinks, but mostly glasses, not much to actually say or talk about. Plus, I don't want to hang about them too long, because YouTube can get very technical about that sort of thing, so you know what I mean. But, next one is a bottle with a mug. Oh, it's a long one. Here we are. So we have Copperberg Spiced Apple, which you can enjoy warm or cold. And the warm makes me suspicious, because normally you chill out with a cold one. But it has a mug in there, a Copperberg mug. I could have my tea in this. You know what I mean? This is pretty awesome, to be fair, because, I mean, I've got a Coca-Cola mug, I've got, as I mentioned already, I've got Only Fools and Horses mug. I did have a Marmite mug, but that got chipped, so right now I'm just using a generic, like, pinkish big mug, which is my general big mug for, you know, teas and all that, because I don't drink coffee. But now I got a Copperberg mug as well. I mean, hell, I even have that glass Zelda tankard, if you remember. So now I've got a Delta Insignia Starfleet issue wine-ish glass. I guess it's a wine glass. And even though it doesn't come with wine, I don't know what IPA is, but we also got Copperberg Spiced Apple as well as a mug. The mug is the most important thing in this packet, and that's bloody amazing. And because I like mostly like Copperberg, mixed fruit, strawberry and lime, pear, now I've got a mug to match instead of a drinking glass, which is interesting. I've never seen that before. Like, that with a mug. Normally you get your mugs with Easter eggs, so maybe I need to do an Easter egg one. But then again, we don't have room for mugs. This is just like the odd two things I need to make mention. And I think we're down to our last physical one before I talk about other stuff, channel related, which technically are also presents. We have a Nivea Men full body set. As you can see what we get here, we have the body wash once again. We also have some body cream. I think it helps for like wrinkles or spots and stuff like that. We got some spray, cool dry, protect and care, face scrub, you know, to help out with those wrinkles and everything like that, if you really want anything like that. I didn't ask for this. We even got deep face wash there with aloe vera. In fact, a lot of us got aloe vera in it. But yeah, I didn't ask for this. This was just a random Prezi that Stella Condrite's mother gave to me as well, along with the shirts that I've already mentioned. Much bigger than the pack that I had been given previously. But yeah, this one is a Sport Fresh Effect one shower gel. 3-in-1, body, face, and hair. So, you know, can be used for all those things. And yeah, it's a very hefty package. But this will eventually all get through once again, once I start burning through the stuff that I already have. And then, you know, I could even take it with me with travel, because I have like a travel bag behind me, which you cannot see because the chair is in the way. I'm not gonna lie, this one did pass me by while going through all this. I actually thought I left it in the chest here, but to be fair, I don't know what it is, and I haven't even opened it up yet, but this is what it be. Also from Nanar. Electromagnetic molecular interference antifreeze snow removal instrument, which I am surprised the autofocus immediately worked on that one. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is like a little device sort of thing that you put in your car, and it just emits or scrambles molecular infrastructure or anything to break down ice, and you recharge it in the microwave. Like, what is this thing? You know what? Screw it. Let's open it up on stream right now. It makes more sense. Alright, I've got in. And it's like some sort of... Oh. I'm guessing that's to stick it on something. But yeah, it's just that. And you just leave it in your car and it, like, gets rid of ice for you. Like, there is a USB Type A sort of slot there with an on and off switch. Obviously, it's not working right now because it's probably got no charge. But what's with the USB port? I thought it charges in the microwave, which is a weird thing to do. Like, why would you put a device in the microwave? Like, it says on the back of the box here, use active electrons to make the structure of water molecules less compact. So it would break down ice because that's quite compact. That's how it's solid. So that steam is less likely to condense into ice under low temperature conditions. Help reduce snow and frost on cars in winter, making it less likely to freeze inside and outside of the car, extending the service life of the car. If it can be placed in the car, easy to use, it will not interfere with or affect with the electronic equipment and the human brain in the car, because our brains do use electrical impulses. What do you mean? Turn on the instrument to activate the device. Place the instrument in a safe and stable location in the car, and the energy released from the instrument can melt ice and snow. Keep it out of reach of children. Store like a dry place. Yeah, store in a cool, dry place. When it's in use, it won't be in a cool, dry place. It'll be literally, I don't know. It has to be inside the car where it's obviously dry, but it is a bit moist in the air, so I have no idea. It's a very weird one, this. Like, again, it says that the what does it say? The battery here. Yeah, here we are. Right. There we go. We got something. Okay, if I could keep my hands stable for just a second there, you can see there, right above what I just read was the description. It says there, microwave power supply, magnetron. So you stick it in the microwave to charge it. So what the hell is the USB port for? There's no instructions here. There's nothing in the box. It's just, you know, the sticky tag and the bag it came in and this. What's the USB port for? That's so weird. Obviously, I'm going to have a bit of a play with this, but microwaving a device, I've never done that before. Is that safe? Is stuff actually powered by doing that? I know that you can get water bottles that can be, like, recharge certain panels? Is this operating on a panel? But then how would that work with the USB port? Why is there a USB port? Can you charge it just with general USB power? If so, why would I not do that? Drop the box. Even on the box, it has a USB port right there, which is exactly where it is on the device. So that's just strange. A little gadget that Nan gifted to me. It's on off. Yeah, I have no idea what the USB port does. There's no instruction manual. Just nothing on the back says it either. It just says that it's a microwavable power supply. Well, regardless, thank you, Nan. I will see how this works.
Get ready. Go!
Yes, this video is a little bit more interesting. Instead of having a slight update video where I talk about what we've done on the channel, I'm going to save that for the update video where I just talk about basically everything. Because this time, we, on the creative side of things, are giving presents to you. If that sounds weird enough for a video. That's how this is going to be. First of all, I have tidied up my memberships because since I've been streaming on YouTube, I have actually been having memberships coming through, mostly gifted by Lady Linkario, so you can thank her because, ironically enough, instead of just paying me back from what she owes me from a couple of trips already throughout the last end of this year, she's been paying me back through YouTube, which gives you viewers and subscribers memberships to access basically the same content that you get on Patreons. Now, during my previous, not last, but previous, the one before, live stream of Pikmin 2 Kaizo, when we did get a few memberships go through, I did mention that if you do get a membership that is of the squad or higher, please let me know, join the Discord, and then I can give you the role that will basically match the same level of Patreons so you can get access to exclusive content. Now, I've already got that video as an intro video, sort of short, to go with, so if you literally just click the membership button, that will actually tell you, and I've also tidied it up because some things needed to be more locked in. It wasn't very descriptive because things have changed since I initially set them up. So there was some missing information. Not only that, but because we reached a certain amount of memberships, I unlocked more options for emotes. So I just updated the emotes options so you can use those while chatting in streams and premieres. So as I said, if you did get a membership recently, it was probably from Lady Linkario during those streams, so please thank her for that. And when you're checking the memberships, you can check the free tiers. The middle tier of the Patreons would be the same if you did a $1 here and a $1 there from Patreon. Because if you're doing both for whatever reason, just to support as well as to have access to the content, you don't need to go any higher than the first membership. But if you're not on Patreon, you can just do the highest membership or the middle membership, and that will give you the same perks. You won't be able to access them on Patreon directly, but anything I post on Patreon, I paste in those exclusive chats on the Discord server, link in the description below as well as on the channel banner. And if you let me know that you're there, I can give you the role in order to have access to the same exclusive content. Speaking of live streams, there is a thing that I have been a bit lax on ever since I moved over from Twitch to YouTube for streaming, because I haven't streamed to Twitch ever since I made the move, and when I made the move, I basically started with Pikmin 2 Kaizo, The Return, to actually finish it after paying off the debt. Which means that entire last leg has been basically archived automatically, so you can check the unedited versions, but I've been still editing them to keep consistency with the project. Now, also during that time, I did actually hit 2,500 subscribers, and I did say once I hit 2,500, I would then stop with the 500 milestones in order to, you know, have them a little bit more spaced out so that it's not every other time. And even so, it kind of passed me by, because when I hit it, it was July, I was ill, and I was too busy with Pikmin 2 Kaizo, and I've been quite busy with work, and it has been a bit hectic in life as well with health and all that, which is kind of weird for me saying, because I'm normally quite well. But for 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to say right now, what I'm going to do is introduce multi-streaming. I'm going to see if I can get back to streaming on Twitch for those who haven't been following with live streaming here for whatever reason, because I have just basically left Twitch in the dust because it's not the best platform, let's just say. But I do still like some of the features that are there. Clips are a lot easier to make, and they're also separate videos. Plus, you can also make shorts for YouTube very easily. But also, anyone else that I know of doesn't do multi-streaming a lot. But if I can set that up, that wouldn't alienate that half. And the fact that Pikmin 2 Kaizo was basically done there for the second saga, which was, you know, the speedrunning saga. But basically getting to pay off the debt after going to 1.1. This entire leg has not been there. And there's also something else that I used to do over there that I need to get back to. Thankfully, I haven't streamed it yet, but if I do, I would like to, you know, put that back on there, and I want to get the multi-streaming. So basically, for the 2,500 subscriber milestone, we're going to try and re-implement Twitch with restreaming. So that should not be an issue once I figure out how to do that. Maybe Linkario can help me out as well, and Panda Man had also done that for the charity livestream, which I've already mentioned already. And finally, to end this video off, we have a teaser. Technically a gift to me, but also a gift to you, because you're the guys who are going to watch it. I've already experienced it. Speaking of Pikmin 2 Kaizo, because this is always interconnected, which is amazing. EBTKS Paddy, the person who created Pikmin 2 Kaizo, the Speedy Kaizo update, which is what I was playing up at that point, as well as the 3-year journey compilation of our Ocarina of Time Chaos Edition, is now making a 3-year journey compilation of my Pikmin 2 Kaizo playthrough. And he has sent us a trailer. Well, I say a trailer, more like a snippet, mostly from episode 27, edited, of the game basically breaking after I wanted to stop playing, because I was annoyed. And it wouldn't even let me do that because it almost crashed multiple times. So I'm going to end the video off with that. Enjoy the next 3 minutes. See you guys then. Oh, I had perfectly enough.
Mario's a smash and a dash.
And you killed... Hang on a minute! I just saw a glitch in motion there! Oh look, I was able to swap my Pikmin without problems. Why am I now chucking only blues? And how did my Pikmin not get squished? Many questions, no answers. I have water. Is the randomizer trying to piss me off today or something? I have water in the first floor. And the exit's over there. I don't believe this, man. If these have the mites. I was standing here. You can't just appear out of nowhere and fart in front of my face when I'm standing here. What the hell? This was a goddamn mistake, and I said it was gonna. Fan. I'm not a fan! I'm gonna lose my purples in a minute. I'm gonna... I wasn't losing any Pikmin outside the cave getting the bloody potions the way I was doing it. As soon as I come in here, you piss off. Yay, 1 death. Whoopity feckin' do. What? I'm gonna run through your team. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Go anywhere. Oh, I didn't take. Was feeling good at the start. If I needed any other reason to complain, I thought the bloody emulator crashed right before I ended the goddamn day. You can do it. You can end the day. There you go. I'm sorry for the saltiness, but like now the emulator's breaking as well. As soon as I said that, I didn't want to get too salty and I apologise for ending it. No, it's a good time to end it because now the emulator's struggling. Jesus Christ.